It was a project just to drop music that I had been sitting on because I've been sitting on just so much music, but I've been sitting on it because I just felt like previously I've been putting things out and it hasn't been received in the way that I've been wanting it to because I haven't been marketing the way that I should.
Okay.
So I'm like...
That's also mature as fuck, by the way.
Yeah.
It's very hard to do. When you got heaters... and you know you have to sit on them and it's not the right time. That could be the hardest thing for a fucking artist to do, for sure.
Like, I know people have heard Muse, but when I tell you, like, I'm so far ahead of that and I have so many other great things to just... But it's okay, in due time, bro. Man. But, like, those songs... That's what I'm using. Like, the stuff that I'm talking about now, this project is pretty much the first step to the music that I'm excited to drop. Don't get me wrong, I love every song on this project, but like just as an artist, I'm past it. So
you're already on the next thing.
So it's like Muse, it stands for many unknown situations and experiences.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, it comes from like all the songs are about a girl, so of course, you know, like that's pretty much like my whole angle of it and just my experiences and just me being a little bit more vulnerable, sharing like that side of me because I'm trying to get more into like storytelling and sharing more about me as a person with my music. So that's more so what that project represented for me. As for the intentions of that project, it's the first part to an album that I plan on dropping this summer.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to say the name yet because people in Columbus like to watch a lot of things and I just want to make sure like...
Yo, you will have to keep shit secret.
Yeah, man.
That's the thing. You can't just do what it used to be of just like, nobody's gonna listen to this shit, whatever.
Yeah.
People are listening now.
Really listening. People are watching and it's like, I appreciate it because, you know, like, but it's just, you know, give credit where it's due.
So, okay, let me ask you this. Now that you know people are listening and you've got some eyeballs and ears on you, does that change your writing ever? Does that like, because I noticed that with me, that like I you know, the times that I've written about super personal stuff, like super specific stuff, and I didn't think I would get, you know, kind of clapback stuff for it, I did because I was like, damn, I didn't even think these people would be listening like that. Does it ever change it or?
As for my songs, no, because every song that I make is very personal and I treat every song like new. Each song is a new experience for me, and like more so, music is my form of expression. Music is my form of getting out the ideas that I have in my head, like to share that with someone else. Mm-hmm. So as for my songs, no, but as for the way I move and the way I put things out, yes, it definitely does. Because I'm way more careful about the things that I post. I'm way more careful about the things that I share, the times that I post, the way I say certain things. I'm way more careful about all of that now. So yeah.
Yeah, you have to be, because it's like, I see people all day and night, and they're posting mad personal shit on Facebook or Instagram, or just stuff, maybe not even personal stuff, but it's like so blatantly apparent that they're just really in their feelings at the time. Yeah. And it's like, when I look at people that are, you know, peers or whatever, local artists like we are, and I see them posting that stuff, I just kind of look at it and I'm just like, yo, man, like, if I was a fan of you and you were like Drake or somebody right now, or, you know, Party Next Door or whoever, and I saw you say this shit, I would probably not be as much of a fan of you as I am, you know, like as I would be if you didn't say this. And like, I just started realizing, especially in this day and age, you can't have opinions about fucking anything on any side of any argument without some people getting pissed about it and shit like that. It's always going to
be an argument because someone has to shove down your throat while they're right and while you're wrong.
Yeah.
Just like, we could all just be great, bro.
Yeah, and with me, it's just a matter, that's why, and like, I've even gotten criticisms from people of like, oh, you're so robotic online, all you do is promote and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yo, that's all I can do. You don't want to hear my fucking opinions. As soon as you do, you're going to bitch about it online. Like,
but no, what I've learned though, because like people care about stuff like that.
Yeah.
So instead of me just posting a lot of my own personal stuff, because you have to really know me to really know my personal life, and I learned that a long time ago. Because like people will literally only know you through social media, but people will claim to know your whole life. Like I've met so many people that are like, yeah, do you know so and so? Because I've never met these people a day in my life. And I'm not one of those people. I'm cool to everyone. It's just weird. So, like, I try to stay very personal with, like, actual personal things. But what I do choose to share is just, like, dumb shit. Because, like, one, people don't care about intellectual things. People don't want to hear intellectual things anymore because everything is always at the touch of a button. So, more so with my posts, I post to get reactions. Yeah. I post dumb shit because, like, people love to see dumb shit. So, like...
Yeah. Well, it's one thing to know the game of social media and to know that, like, you know, because there is that fine line between, you know, using social media right and trolling. You know, there are some people that you could just tell they're specifically trolling, and that's kind of the game of it, to where it's like trolling is the art of, like, you're pushing it just to the limit before they know you're trolling, but if they find out you're trolling, you know, it's over.
Yeah.
And so, like, because I kind of did the same thing, and it's like every once in a while I'll post some, maybe not even personal shit, but just regular shit, like shit about my just day-to-day life. Yeah. That's one thing, but when people are out there talking like...
Oh, you know that? No. Yeah.
Bro, I've been seeing chicks post about miscarriages and shit on Facebook. Like, oh, I had a miscarriage today, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, I don't need to know that.
The one thing I hate, like, is the girls that post, like, that they're, like, whoever, their boyfriend, their baby dad, whatever, they just ain't shit. They're just terrible.
Yeah.
Cheating on them. They did whatever. Then, like, the next week, they're like, yeah, we're back at it. Y'all thought we, like, no, you thought y'all left. Like, no, bro. Like, I hate that. That's
why that is the worst thing,
I hate putting, like, no, I don't do that, bro.
Because it's just like, yo, at least go back a week and delete the former posts.
Yeah, then it's like
they
you
never
had
do.
to broadcast that you guys are back cool. Like, we never cared the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. This whole story.
We didn't care the whole time.
Yeah.
You chose to force that down. Like, I block people like that.
It's tricky, man. And, like, it's one... Because my thing is, like, the only social media I have is just Sam Rothstein music-related stuff. I don't really have a personal Facebook or anything like that. You know, just because, like, I even realized that it was, like, nobody's safe from it. Like, no matter how chill or normal of a person are, you spend enough time on Facebook, you have one bad day, and you're going to be in that mindset to be in your feelings on the internet and to get on there and start talking about shit. And I realized that I could even fall victim to it. And so it was like, nah, I just got to use this shit as a promotion tool or whatnot. But it's like, it's very sad when you see people, and, you know, especially like girls or guys that get dumped. And you know what I mean? And they're going through like the 9 stages of grief on Facebook and shit like that. Because they be like...
like all the energy in the world, and you choose to just put out this terrible energy. Like, you're making someone else take this in. Why? Like, you should feel ashamed.
And people don't know...
Man.
I fuck with you for saying that in a big way, because I'm a very big believer in just positive and negative energy, period. You know, I'm not a particularly religious person, but I just do believe in just mind state and outlook and the things you say and the way you interact with people, you know, that does double back on you, good or bad, you know what I mean? And so it's like, if you are putting bad energy out there, believe me, man, a little cloud's going to start following you around.
And once you become so secure in your energy, like, you can pick up on things like that. Like, you can just walk around people and just sense that something is just off. Like, I'm big about that. Like, I'm cool with everyone. I have no issues with anyone. But if I come around you and your energy is just off, like, it's not too much that we can do from that point moving forward. Just because, like, it just can't.
Well, it's also like, yo, man, like, I feel like the more kind of positive and productive avenue you take, be it as a human being or an artist or whatever, you know, I feel like at some point, like, the artists I fuck with are the ones that it's like, they got the sign from God, so to speak. They got that it's like, yo, I'm supposed to be an artist. I'm supposed to be doing this. This is what I'm going to do. But I think what people fail to realize is like, and that's why a lot of artists become really estranged from their old friends and their friends that they had in high school before they were an artist and shit like that. Because people don't realize that when you go down the righteous path and you go down the good direction and the positive, productive direction, negativity can hurt you more if you're more on the positive side than if you were just in the middle, just a regular ass person. Because when you're a regular ass person, you're dealing with negative people too, just as much as good people. It's just whatever. They're just people.
You have enough time to be able to deal with things like that. When you're positive and you're productive, you have no time for bad energy. You have no time for bad days, because one bad day for a creative is a day that you just missed an opportunity to make your situation better. So there's really no room for that at this point. Yeah,
big facts. I couldn't have said it better, because it's just like, people don't realize what the stakes are.
Really, bro. And it's like, at the end of the day, we're all humans. We're all stuck in the same, like, fucked up ass system. And it's like, life costs, to live costs, to be here costs, everything costs. So it's like, when you're an artist, you will see little to no money unless you're moving the right way, unless you have a right team, unless you have like the right knowledge to maneuver in this. Because there's a lot of people taking advantage of people trying to get on their feet. But it's like, at the same time, you have bills, you have things, like everyday things. So it's like, people do not understand how hard it is to still maintain that and still chase this dream. Like, that's not easy.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. I've had to tell it to old friends of mine, too, that it's like, yo, man, like, because people will take it as like, oh, you think I'm a bad person, or you think, but you're better than me, and blah, blah. It's like, yo, it's not like that. I simply cannot be around this, though. Like, you don't understand, like, this negativity can fuck up my entire wave.
Really, and it's like, at the
this can undo everything I built.
No one else is gonna work hard for you. Like, you're gonna work hard for you. No one else is gonna put you in the position that you need to be in, other than yourself. So it's like, I don't feel bad about it. I used to feel bad about it. I used to feel guilty about things like that because I'm a people pleaser.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone happy, and it's like, when everyone's not happy, that I take that stuff and I take it internally. But I've learned to stop doing it, because you can never feel sorry for wanting to, like, be the best you that you can be. You can never be, you feel me, apologetic to, like, things like that. Like, never apologize for that.
Well, it's also like, at some point too, you have to kind of ask yourself the flip side of like, yo, all you want to do is go fishing on the weekends or do, whatever. But it's like, would you stop doing that for me?
You feel me though? And then it's like you'll really stop feeling bad, because once you learn to focus on yourself, you'll be productive. Look back just a year later. Look at your situation where you're at now, and look back at that person that you felt bad about.
Exactly.
You're going to be somewhere else. They're going to be doing the same exact thing that they were doing when you left them.
Exactly. And that's all of the shit that we're saying. What's so funny about it is because it's so hard to say without sounding like a dickhead. Like, I don't know, when you become a serious artist, like, things just change for you, and you start looking at shit differently. And especially when, like, I don't want to say lesser, but like, when there's artists that, like, you could tell, like, okay, this is what pisses me off. I go, somebody hits me up and they're like, hey bro, let's get on a song, let's work, and blah blah blah. I'm like, okay. I go to their Facebook page. First thing I see is baby pictures. Or the first thing I see is a picture with them, their wedding pictures or wives. And this is going to be fucked up. Full disclosure on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. People hearing this might think this is fucked up for me to say, but it's fucking true. And I know that for a fact it's fucking true with a lot of the artists that are hearing this right now. As soon as I see those baby pictures or I see that other shit, I'm like, yo, you ain't serious.
It's not even fucked up, because at the end of the day, when you are someone that wakes up every day knowing what you want out of what you're doing, and you know the direction that you're heading in, it's not, you can't feel bad for that, because it's like, bro, we have the same 24 hours in a day. The same 24 hours that I'm using to better myself are the same 24 hours that you could be using to, like, put yourself in the same position.
Right.
So it's like, if I spend my 24 hours doing nothing but being positive and growing and learning, why should I take away from my 24 hours to give some of my time to you when you don't even want to give your time to yourself? Like, no. That's disrespectful to me at that point. Yeah,
I'm 100% on that. And it's just like, I don't know, there's some people I see to where it's like, okay, you can make music, you are making music, but at the same time, like, what are you really doing with your time? Are you serious about this? Do you want to make music full time? Are you really in this? Are you, like, in the same depth of water that I am? Because I feel like that's how it is, really. Like, in music and art, there are people on the beach that just got their feet in the water. And then there are people that are up to their knees. And then there are people that are waist deep. And then there's people that are just on their tippy toes and the water's up to their neck. And then there are people that are treading water. And then there are people that are fucking swimming out in the ocean. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I've always kind of seen artistry. And so when I see other people, especially on their social media, and I'm like, yo, you're just posting a bunch of dumb shit. Like, I gotta scroll for 2.5 fucking minutes to find a single flyer or a link. Like, that is the shit that's unacceptable to me. So if you're going to approach me as an equal, as a peer, you better at least have your promotion and all that other shit in order to where I don't have to look for what you do.
Nah, bro, it's entitlement. A big problem with a lot of people is they feel entitled. People feel as if they have to do nothing and receive everything. And it's like, if you're an artist, you will get nowhere thinking that you're going to put a song out and someone's just going to discover it and you're just going to be taken out of the hood. And, like, don't get me wrong, it happens, but being someone who's serious about what they do, you cannot come into it expecting that to be your outcome, because there's a million people expecting that to be their outcome, bro. Like, what's going to set you, like, apart?
A literal million, too. An actual million.
Like, literally, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, if you have a rap name, Google yours. I'm pretty sure, like, there's probably going to be, like, 3 others, bro. Like, it's that bad now. Like, so it's like, you have to be investing that time. You have to be taking that extra mile. But people feel entitled. Like, no, bro. Like, you have to put the work in to get it out. Then it's like they see you doing it. And it's like, they want a piece of that, but it's like, no, bro. Do you know how many things I had to sacrifice? How many events? How many things that I couldn't attend, or things that I had to miss out on to, you feel me, know the things that I know, to do the things that I do now? Why should I take away from that because you didn't feel like you had to risk the same things?
Right. To essentially just give you a leg up on me, really.
Yeah.
It's like, I got to give you my hard-earned knowledge, and I got to tell myself all the time to stop giving out game to people like I do. But at the same time, like, I do want to help people, you know what I mean? There's plenty of artists that like have only been doing shit a fraction of the time that I have, that I still take time out to help. But it's because I know they're going to do something with it. I'll help anybody if I know that the help is going to be worth it. But it's like, for a lot of people, they don't want help, or they don't want advice, they don't want knowledge. They just want someone to do the work for them.
A handout, bro. And it's like, I watched this like interview with this lady. Her name is like Vanna Lee. Like, I don't know if you watch Oprah or anything like that, but she's a very positive black woman.
Okay.
Anyways, I watched this interview and like she said something and it's just gonna stick with me forever. But she was just like in the Bible, you know how it says, "My cup runneth over."
Yeah.
So pretty much, she said what that means is a lot of people rob from themselves to help other people. So it's like, this is your cup, right? When you're like, whatever's in your cup, that's for you. Everything that flows over your cup, that's what you have to help other people. But you should never reach in your cup to help someone else, because then you're robbing yourself.
Yeah, okay. I've never heard that phrase really articulated that way.
That shit, I have never either, and that shit stuck with me forever, because I'm like, dang, because people would do things for people out the kind of their heart. But it's like, yeah, you should do that. But then think about it, like, realistically, are you robbing yourself to help someone else? Because if you are, then you're not doing any good, because then you're belittling yourself.
Yeah. Well, it's like the same concept. You always hear people be like, yo, I'd give them the shirt off my back if that was the last one I had. It's like, okay, well, it's just better to have 2 shirts, though.
Honestly, though.
Like, it's better to just have another shirt, and you can fucking give it to someone. Like,
really, bro?
Because I've always known that, man. It's always, I don't know, it's always people that claim to be the most compassionate and selfless and helping that are always the first ones to tell you how compassionate, selfless, and helping they are. Yeah. But also, like, I don't know, man. I've helped a lot of people. I've given a lot of people a couch to crash on and a roof over their head, because I was selfish enough to make sure I had a couch to crash on and a roof over my head first. You know, and I worried about me first, and I worried about, you know, getting myself set up. And then when I did that, I was actually in a position to help other people.
Honestly, though, because it's like, if you're a person like me, bro, when those times come for you, you're the only person that you have. So you have to secure the back of yourself, bro.
Yeah,
you have to,
absolutely.
You have no other option at that point.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I feel also, I think a lot of that stuff from other people can come from, like, they've never been just thrown off the boat like that. They've never been in a position to where it's like, yo, damn, like, there's nobody else.
Really?
You know, and I definitely feel that way right now artistically. You know, I've got a very good network of people that have been very helpful with me. And that's how I ended up throwing this tour together like I did. But, like, you know, I don't have a team. I don't have, you know, it's like with your situation, it's like, yo, when this music gets made, like, you're overseeing the whole process.
And it gets hard at times, because then it's like, when you're more than an artist, you get into booking shows, you get into doing graphics, then I'm starting up my own business. I still have a full-time job.
Right.
So it's like making time to get everything done, then still making time to promote your music, making time to network with people. And it's like, in Columbus, I find it really hard to network outside of the buddy system, because it's like, if you're a person that has that free time, if you can go to every event and be up everyone's ass all the time, excuse my language, then you can do that and you'll make those connections. But it's like, with me, I'm in a session all the time. It's always something, it's business or something. So it's like, I don't get those opportunities to go out and network. But I appreciate how I've been moving, because my name still holds, like, you feel me? People
Absolutely.
Still, so it's like, I'm clearly doing something right.
Yeah, for sure. And I as of recent, I put way less stock into networking, because I've, you know, what's funny is literally 2 minutes ago I just talked about having a good network, but like, you know, in Columbus especially, there's a lot of people that, you know, what pisses me off, and I'm gonna just fucking air this out right now. I'm sick of the buzzwords. I'm sick of just the phrases and catchphrases and things that we just throw out there and assume that that's good enough. 4 or 5 years ago, it was a movement. Everybody had to say the word movement, right? They're like, oh, I'm not a rapper, I'm a movement. This is a movement, and blah, blah, blah. Because that's what record labels, that was the buzzword they were saying. When Bobby Shmurda came out and there were 900 motherfuckers in that video, all banging the hot boy like that, that was what it looked like. It was a movement. When hyphy shit got big in 2006 and 7 nationally, that was a movement. When fucking Houston shit got big, it was a movement. But it's just words like that. And I feel like networking and building, linking up, all that other shit. I feel like a lot of people use that as an excuse or a replacement for doing some shit. I know plenty of motherfuckers that don't network at all and they're still doing fine.
I don't even think networking and building in Columbus is I think there's a whole new definition for it. I think networking, don't get me wrong, there are people in Columbus doing great things. So if you're one of those people, please do not be offended by my words. But right. I feel like the definition truly in Columbus right now of networking is to kiss someone's ass, become a friend, and ride their wave. Honestly. That's just a lot of what.
Man, I'd like to argue with you, but I can't because I feel like there's so much of that, man, and it's just maybe not even on some ass kissing shit because look, at the end of the day, when you're a new artist and you're trying to establish yourself and be a part of the scene, yeah, you gotta ass kiss some people. That's just how I did it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
The territory, but at the end of the day, there's certain levels to this stuff, and they're and I don't even see it as ass kissing when you're first coming out because at that point you're just putting your face out there. You're becoming that. Oh, I'm refusing to not be heard anymore. Yeah. I'm putting myself at your face. There's a difference between that and ass kissing. Yeah. Yeah, there's a big difference. And again, if you're one of those people that don't this is not what you do not feel offended. If you are, it's the shoe fits. That's it. Yeah, if you have to ask, it's probably about you. But if you don't, that's always been my thing. But I don't know. I just feel it's easy to just throw that word in there. What are we doing? Oh, we're networking. It's all right, what are we really doing though? Because you're standing around. And you're talking some more. Bros, and it's and we all know how to do that. We've all got each other's numbers. We've all that's I don't know. And it's that's my whole thing is too. I want to be out in the scene more and supporting more. Definitely. But the amount of shows, definitely. The amount of shows, the cost of all that, because it's it'd be one thing if I didn't do shit other than just I want to go out and go support. I just want to go see a show. I do my job, come home, got my, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever the situation may be with a person. And then, I go out to shows. Even then, they're still spending $50-$60 a week if we're including drinks and all that. And then on top of that, then you're asking artists to do that? They got to pay for studio time. They got to pay for all this other stuff. I'm just saying, the people that can do that every week, y'all are the people that ain't got bills, G.
Yo, I've been screaming the same.